thing is, until you can erase 3 Februaries, shut up. Bang! Quality over quantity. LeBron has beaten some of the best competition in NBA history. He's the GOAT emoji. I will not cuss. I will not cuss. I will not swear. I will not swear.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
When a fan base just like tries to pull you in, and I mean they really try to pull you in. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Thursday edition of the Brian Snow Show, and I may as well just get this party started right now. Victor Locke joins me. What's up, Victor?
How are you, Snowman?
I'm great, man.
Good.
I'm great.
Very good.
Especially when dealing with some of these stupid people. Oh, did I say that aloud? I'm sorry.
Which ones? We have a lot of stupid people around this world. Just remember what George Carlin said. Just know that a lot of people are stupid, and then realize that half of them are stupider than that. Yes.
Are stupider than that. There's no lie to be found with that statement. There's absolutely no lie to be found with that statement. Welcome to those in the Fanatics feedback zone. I appreciate you guys. I'm doing all kinds of stuff to get ready for the CFL season, which kicks off tonight. But I told Victor this has been a random musings with Victor Locke kind of week.
I see. I'm enjoying myself though.
And plus, you're a brilliant radio partner to have on, so I figure the hell with it. I may as well continue it.
It is my honor, sir. It is my honor to have been in some way, shape, or form working with you for the past 20 years has been a joy.
Can you believe it's been that long? 23 years?
No.
Can you believe that? I can't either.
Some people don't in the last 2 years. I mean, look, everyone kept talking about the new duo, the new dynamic duo for sportscast debate shows with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe, and they're supposed to last for several years. And now I think it's been barely 2-3 years. Well, actually, no, about 4, and already Shannon trying to leave.
Well, I may as well admit something aloud here. I didn't watch that much.
I didn't. I saw clips.
Well, that's as far as I got too. I saw clips, and that's about as far as I got.
But it's kind of funny because it's almost like those two, as polar opposites they are, they're also kind of the same person. They're also very similar too.
Well, yeah.
Just as different fans. Because like Shannon can say how much of a fanboy Skip is for Tom Brady, and he is to a sickening degree. But then you look at Shannon Sharpe and how he, falls over his face to save LeBron.
Oh God!
It's kind of the same thing.
That is an understatement.
But that was something that did cross my mind, particularly about because a lot of people say, well, after the Damar Hamlin thing happened,
yes,
that's when Shannon wanted to, get away from Skip. I'd say it's before that. So I think the argument they had on air was before that, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. I think they've been trying to separate since well before Damar Hamlin happened.
Well, yeah, because I think after that, and let's just say Skip was absolutely wrong for both counts. For one, this is supposed to be your boy. You're supposed to be like a person you hang out with outside the camera,
right?
And for you, and also Shannon Sharpe is a Hall of Famer, well deservedly so.
Very much so.
So the fact that you would sit there and try to denigrate his career, all to prop up Tom Brady, they're both going to be Hall of Famers, whether one minute or not.
So why are you denigrating one to prop up the other?
And that's the problem. There's a lot of lack of respect in this industry you guys are in. I've noticed.
You think?
And some deserve it. Some deserve the respect. Some do not. Okay, Nick Wrong, hello. You do not deserve it.
Quit climbing in my head.
I'm telling you now. If Nick Wrong ends up joining Skip Bayless at the desk, FS1's gonna have to pay for his therapy sessions. He's gonna be a blubbering, crying mess every single day.
If Nick Wrong joins Skip Bayless at the debate desk, do you think their ratings are going down the tubes now?
Say what you want about Skip. Skip knows how to handle himself on the mic.
True. It's the people he's been with that don't.
Well, it's not even that. It's that he's so staunch in his beliefs, he can't even see that there's a possibility that maybe he might be wrong. I mean, after the Damar Hamlin thing is where this really came about, where he decided to ask about what we're going to do with the rest of these games. Like right now, that's not the point.
No, it's not the point. It's the point. The point was a fellow is fighting for his life.
Exactly. And you also fighting for your life, and congratulations on that battle won.
Much appreciated.
You know, there's no way you approach that from a sports oriented situation. Now, a lot of people said that, you know, he should have taken the tweet down. Maybe it's an unpopular opinion. I disagree because it's already up there. People already seen it.
You can't suck it back like a piece of spaghetti.
As Jim Cornette would say, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube.
Nope.
It's already out now.
You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube, and you can't suck it back like a piece of spaghetti.
So what he should have done, whether it's on the next show or through Twitter, say, I made an insensitive tweet. I meant it in a much different place than what it sounded like.
Yep.
It was the wrong time, the wrong context. It was wrong all the way around. I apologize to Damar Hamlin, to his family, to the Buffalo Bills, and the Cincinnati Bengals, who also had to deal with that as well. I apologize, and I will, use better judgment than what I used. But
I mean, you're talking about a situation where a fellow was fighting for his life. That insensitive POS comes out, and I'm talking about the tweet, not the person. That comes out, and instead of backing down, he doubles down.
Yeah.
What is wrong with this picture?
Because, like I said, he just can't be wrong. For him to come out the next day after Shannon explained that you should have tweaked down or whatever, he said, well, no one had a problem with it. Well, you did kind of backtrack it, so someone did.
Someone did, yes.
Someone had a problem with what you said. And of all things, you should have had a problem with what you said.
Exactly.
You should have been human enough to say, man, that was not the right thing to say. Let me try it. Let me try and explain myself, or even just say, I'm sorry. Even just apologize at this point, because there was no point you even explaining yourself. But from that situation, and like I said, like right around that time, then Shay going cray in a game between the Grizzlies and the and the Lakers, where Shannon Sharpe about to fight with T. Morant, John Morant's father.
Yes.
It's like you are a sportscaster and a Hall of Famer at tight end. What are you doing?
What are you doing? I mean, you get paid to weigh on the situation, yes, but what are you doing sticking your nose in that situation?
I don't know.
What in the world are you doing sticking your nose in that situation, man?
So to me, I thought it was hilarious that these two, who used to be real close, I mean, he was talking about how much they hung out and everything like that. Now they can't get away. But ask yourself this. I don't remember Stephen A. going through half this. It seemed like Skip had a lot more respect for Stephen A. than he does for Shannon.
You know why? Because half of the stuff that comes out of Shannon's mouth is just plain stupid.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's call a spade a spade. Half of the stuff that comes out of Shannon's mouth is just plain stupid.
Well, I'll ask you this. Who would be your dream partner if you were actually able to get onto one of the bigger sports networks? Who would be like the dream partner?
Well, first of all, I don't care to get on the bigger sports network because I'm busy trouncing all of their asses by building one. And second, I already got one of them. I'm talking to him right now.
Well, I always defer that to Cole Johnson because you guys make magic every morning, but
And
I do appreciate that.
Like you're not doing that now. I would take every one of these NBA aficionados and bury them in the dirt. And I do it inside of 5 minutes. And that's not just to say that I know everything about the NBA. Good Lord, that is not the case. I just know what I am used to watching. I know what I have put up with for the past 20 years. And I'm not pleased nor impressed. Either way. Do I get paid to weigh in on the NBA? Yes, I do. Do people like I weigh in on the NBA? Hell no.
It's also
tell the truth with what I'm doing.
It's also funny because this conversation between you and I about that individual, that spanned, we were actually on opposite sides of the spectrum for a while.
2 years. For 2.5 years. Because I gotta share this funny story. Victor and I were living together in Gary. And I was watching old games that I had on my laptop at the time. And I nearly ran out of memory. I had downloaded so many games. Victor comes to me and says, look, we need to have a chat. And already my spider senses went up. And I said, why? And to Victor's credit, he poses a simple question to me. He goes, why don't you give LeBron James a chance? Well, first of all, Victor should have known my answer because I immediately bristled.
Bristled, I don't think is the word for it.
All right, I will use your newly found word. What you mean?
let me put it this way. I have never, nor will I ever be a bronzexual, but I've always been the type of person that's like, let me give this guy a clean slate, give him a chance to see what he can do.
Absolutely.
And that's how it was with LeBron.
Yep.
And Brian wasn't with that.
It will never be.
So when I asked him about why don't you give LeBron a chance,
and this was a legitimate question he asked me, folks.
Yep. There was a pause. And then a little glare. And then just said, LeBron James. And I was like, why though? He don't deserve to wear the number 23.
That's where it started.
I do understand that.
For me, that's where it started.
Because if your last name isn't Ewing or Pippen, you should wear 33. But there's a lot of people who wore 33.
And made it
great. And so this became a daily conversation about he might be good, he sucks. He said, just watch the older games and you'll figure it out.
Right.
Trust me.
Right. I did. I said that exact statement.
I said the word diplomatic, and Brian deemed that a 4-letter word for a while.
For like 4 years.
But
let me clarify. When it came to him.
Yes.
When it came to, all right, I'll say it plainly. When it came to this fool.
Yes.
It was a 4-letter word.
But then I got it. And I'll tell you what happened. Was hanging out with my dad, and we love watching NBA.
Yes. We
were watching the Atlanta Hawks take on the Cleveland Cavaliers. I want to say it was like about a minute and a half in the game in the fourth quarter.
Left in overtime.
And LeBron is walking off the court. And I sat there like, where is he going? Didn't shake hands, just walked off the court. It's one thing if you are that much of a competitor that you're not happy you lost. It's another thing when you quit in the middle of the game. And I don't care if it's football, baseball, basketball, hockey, badminton,
right,
curling.
Right.
You do not leave until the final sound is made.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't leave a baseball game until the final out's recorded. You don't leave the court until the final horn is sound. You don't leave the football field till the final gun has been fired.
Yes.
That moment left such a sour taste in my mouth. And then I started watching the older games. And you never saw that. You didn't see Dr. J or Moses Malone walk off when there was still like 30 seconds left in the game.
Right.
Joe Montana and Troy Lane, they stayed till the final gun was sounded. Win, lose, or draw. They stayed.
Right. They stayed. They stayed.
So I got done with my work. I drove home. And I just looked at Brian, and Brian was watching the 1992 NBA Finals.
Bulls and Blazers.
Yep. And I said, Snowman, I think I get it. And he turned like...
I sat straight up and I went, what?
I said, I get it now. What you meant about LeBron. There's a lack of commitment when it comes to him. And you've seen it with all the teams he's been with, from being in Cleveland, then taking his talents to South Beach, and then being there, and then going back to Cleveland, and then going all the way now to the West Coast.
Which is where he's going to finish his career. I mean, you can read the tea leaves from 100 miles away and see that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can read the tea leaves from 100 miles away and see that.
And the other thing that really chapped me about LeBron was the fact that he knew he was not staying in Cleveland after the 2009-2010 season. We knew that.
And he held that team hostage.
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers, hello.
And he went everywhere. Oh, I went here, I went there. He came to Chicago. I'm like, no, you need to leave. You need to leave Chicago. No.
You know what? We were working at Ho Chunk one afternoon, and I just kept hearing the question from an incessant fan. And I mean this metaphorically only, but I wanted to clothesline him. When he kept saying, where's LeBron going? Finally, I just got mad. I didn't get angry. I didn't get ticked off. I just got mad. And I walked up to this guy, and he just kept spitting at me. Where's LeBron going? Give me my button here. I finally went up to him, and I said, I dare you to ask your question one more time. He said, well, it's a legitimate question. No, it's not. And he goes, but where is LeBron going? I said, frankly, as a basketball fan, I don't give two shits where LeBron goes. He needs to take his out of the league and stay out. Never heard from him again.
Well, of course not.
He wasn't happy with me for the remainder of the weekend.
No one was.
And I said that aloud. Very, very loud. Because
once LeBron came in from high school, I think that's what really started, because this is one of the first few guys who went from high school to the league.
Mm-hmm.
And people were like,
first one, I believe, since Kobe did it.
Yeah. And so people were like, oh my God, that's so amazing that he's that confident. And I was like, I think it's a bad idea. I believe that you should always go to college. And there's twofold reason. Number one, education over everything.
Yes.
Education should be your top priority, because you're only blessed with a few years of being able to play this sport at a high level.
Very exactly. Thank you.
You know, Michael Jordan, what did he major in when he was in North Carolina?
Communications.
Exactly. Also, he majored in math.
Mm-hmm.
The two things you need to set up a franchise, a brand, which is exactly what Michael did.
And boy, did he ever.
The other reason why you should always go to college is because you need that last final polish.
Yeah.
When you're going into college, and that college always does that for you. You need that final polish before you go into the league.
And the first few years is when you really hone your craft. When you get into the league.
Exactly. And so it kind of irked me that he decided to forego that, because it was almost like, dude, you still need some time to mature.
Mm-hmm. Now, there are very few players that can come in and kick ass immediately while still sharpening their iron. Kobe Bryant being one, Kevin Garnett, Moses Malone, Darryl Dawkins.
Mm-hmm.
All right, very few and far between. But as far as LeBron goes, I actually heard, oh dear Lord, I'm gonna have to push a button, and I don't believe I'm gonna do this.
Oh no.
I had a conversation with a bronsexual, and he said to me, and I'm not making this up, folks. I'm not making this up. He said to me, quote, LeBron is the greatest player to come out of high school into the NBA.
And I say again from the peanut gallery, what you mean?
I wanted to metaphorically give this guy a
tiger uppercut.
I don't think I would blame you.
I said, don't you ever tell that lie ever again. Ever.
When I think about how this bronsexual wave has gone, I always go back to like 2010, 2011, because
it does happen in it does happen in waves, doesn't it?
Yeah, because you have this guy, and these people like flock to him, but then also you take this, he also was into the music aspect of the NBA, which if you think about it,
you've always said that, and I applaud you for saying that. You've always said that.
Yeah, 2011, 2012, the NBA and music, particularly hip hop music, kind of married together. You know, and a lot of that also coming into with Jay-Z owning the Brooklyn Nets.
A match made in hell.
Yeah. But the thing is,
that whole genre, the hip hop merging with the NBA, and I'll say it again, and I've said it aloud for the years that it's been going on, a match made in hell.
And so now,
a match made in hell.
And now what you have is like hip hop really infiltrating into basketball, which I don't mind on the surface, because hey, music and basketball, I don't have a problem with it.
Right.
But what got to me was that the term hater got so big in 2012.
Dear God.
Particularly when you talked about the Heat, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Chris Bosh. And when I played the game NBA 2K12, every song, every freaking song had the word hater in it. And I was like, why though? No one hates LeBron James. Oh, some people do, but it's not a personal hate.
No,
like, I don't know him, so I don't personally hate him.
And that's where people misconstrue my criticisms of LeBron on the damn floor.
Yes,
for hatred.
Yes.
I'm saying this is not hatred. This is me criticizing him and his play on the floor. Period. Exactly. That's all that is.
Yeah, and you can hate the product on the floor and not hate the person.
Mm-hmm.
I sometimes attune what LeBron's going through with what John Cena went through in around the same time. Actually, a little bit earlier, like around 2005, 2006.
Right.
You know, right. The WWE was going into the PG era. And John Cena was the poster child for the PG era that people did not like. They didn't like the product.
And that was right about the time Cena won his first championship.
Yeah.
At WrestleMania 2005.
Yeah. Because people loved him when he became Thugonomics and everything like that. But it wasn't until I want to say around 2011 was when Cena, people started to turn away from him because he was too PG. And he didn't like the PG product, and so therefore they equated John Cena to the PG product and were like, yeah, we hate this guy.
And what they don't realize is it's how he has been written since 2011. Victor Locke joining me here on the program. Another dose of the random musings. I got David St. Dennis on the way. We're going to talk some Actually, Victor, hang out with me. One more segment with you, and then I'm gonna have David close the show to talk some baseball. I'll be back in a little bit. This is the Thursday edition of the Brian Snow Show, if I can ever say it right. Back in a minute. The thing is, until you can erase 3 Februaries, shut up.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
The original Think Drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play. Nerd Focus, smarter than energy.
One of the great things about ordering meals from Mother of Macros is that you can do it from the comfort of your own home. Click the national or local delivery link to access the menu, and we'll ship the meals right to your door. We understand you won't always have time to plan, shop, prepare, and cook to provide healthy nutrition for your family, so the process is simple and saves you hours. We know you're busy, so our meals are professionally prepared and packaged. You only need to heat them up and enjoy. We provide macro-balanced, delicious meals, chock full of fresh, local ingredients with none of the stuff you don't want to eat. Plus, our menu changes every week, keeping your taste buds wanting more. We take care of your meals so you can worry about everything else on your list. Mother of Macros.
This planet has been great to me. It's given me gifts that I can't even explain. It's given me adventures and memories I'll never forget. And Battleborn, I think, has given me the opportunity to go beyond and give something back. How can I be a better custodian to this planet and the place I live? That's where I am with Battleborn. Let's make the planet a better place.
Sure. We all know ghosts exist.
I'm getting a really dark energy.
But if you trying to hunt them, there's one simple rule you gotta follow.
What the hell was that?
Guys, hurry up and get the hell out of there.
No matter what happens, stay calm.
Oh, Jesus! Oh, Jesus! Oh, hell no!
Hey, Matt, what's up?
Okay, that's a balloon. It looked like it was a demon.
Wow.
We be fly for nothing. We be fly for nothing. OEO, mucho. Run it.
So where are we going?
A haunted pinata shop.
What?
An old Korean brothel.
Oh, Lord.
A funeral home in Compton?
Yeah.
You don't like us, do you?
It's business.
I get fly for nothing. I roll with OPO.
Official paranormal operations, baby.
We got infrared cameras set up all over the place.
Whatever's in there, we're gonna get to the bottom of it. Y'all down with it?
What the is this? I have robot strapped to my abdomen.
What the hell is going on?
Are you with us right
Gentlemen, you okay?
Guys, we got action.
I feel like something's in here.
Don't nobody want you with us.
Man, they got some going down in there.
It could be a succubus.
Suck you, huh?
It's an energy that feeds upon you in a sexual way. Like,
Not with the teeth like that?
oh, yeah.
We be fly for nothing.
All right, investigation's over. This bitch is haunted as
This is Brett, and you're watching Shady Sports Network. Tune in, hit that like button.
You might wonder, what do these guys do? player signing announcements. I never in a million years thought you would actually come on to break this news. So without further ado, go ahead and tell everybody what happened today.
Yeah, man. I just had to work out with the Cincinnati Bengals. Signing me right out.
Without further ado, I'd like to announce that, I'll be taking my talents to Salina Liberty.
This just in. The Major League of Football is reportedly collapsing, unable to pay hotel room bills, with players being kicked out of their rooms and hotel managers asking them to leave voluntarily without issue.
And then we got Lions wide receiver Williams is debuting this week as a starter. That's something to look at as far as the eye test goes. And then another one on the eye test is Mostert. It might be coming back to Miami. And we can see if he has a role in this offense and see if he can be viable for the next couple weeks coming and help us in the playoffs and possibly towards a championship. That would be very nice because he's sitting on my bench right now.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is The Brian Snow Show.
Welcome back to the second part of the Brian Snow Show. Victor Locke joins me, and on the Invader Coffee Hotline, David St. Dennis, a.k.a. David 3000, joins. How are you, my friend?
Hey.
Doing well. Finally got to talk after a long time.
Finally got you on. We're getting it all together. Let me pose a question.
Yes.
Let's talk some baseball. I've had so many people ask me when I did my preseason predictions who I had winning the American League West. And my answer is simple: the Houston Astros. And people are looking at me like, what?
Yeah.
You don't believe in the Texas Rangers? Let me answer that question live right now. Hell no. I do not and will not believe in the Texas Rangers, and part of the reason is gone for 2 years, and that's Jacob deGrom. This is where David comes in. Talk to me.
Well, first of all, can Victor hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
How you doing, David?
Interesting. I don't know how you set that up, Snowman, with the phone calls, but anyway, the Texas Rangers, you know what they have? They have some good pitching, but you know what's more important to them is their offense. And they've been scoring runs, and what just happened recently, Jacob deGrom. He has Tommy John surgery.
Yep.
And it's very unfortunate because other than the pitchers like Kershaw and Ohtani, he's the best pitcher in the game when he's healthy. But we haven't seen him a full season with him since like what year? Can't remember exactly since you've seen a full year of Jacob deGrom. Maybe 2015, but I can't remember the exact year the last time we saw a
Not
full.
since 15. When he was with the Mets, and the Mets went to the World Series. He has not been healthy since then. Not since 2015. No.
And he's been getting hurt every year after year every year. He already had Tommy John surgery in the past. I believe it was in the minor leagues or something like that. But now he's got Tommy John surgery again after many of the injuries that happened with him since 2016. This has been going on for almost a half decade. And it's really unfortunate because, like I said, he's the best pitcher in the game. No, nothing comes close to it. Like I said, other than Ohtani, Kershaw. Scherzer is getting older and he's been struggling a little bit. But it's just that where do we go from here? We are not going to see DeGrom until 2025. The Texas Rangers, what do you think was going in their heads right now after signing that non-contracted DeGrom until like 2028 or so? What's your thoughts? I'm going to ask Victor as well. I don't know if he's a baseball fan or not. But
he
what
is.
you two? Okay, what team?
Chicago White Sox.
White Sox.
Okay.
White Sox, Astros, and Cards on the NL side.
Let me answer Dave's question. What are the Rangers thinking?
Yes.
It's pretty simple. Half of our budget just went down the tubes.
Yeah, that was their like big off-season splash right there. That was their main off-season splash because they already got Simeon and Seager from the previous off-season. They were like, okay, they're getting there, and all they need is some star pitching and getting there. And now that's just the main target, getting DeGrom. And then now he has Tommy John. And all they have left as a good pitcher is, there's Nathan Eovaldi. And it's just like, where do we go from here? What do you think what is going through their heads?
Well, here's my question to you. Who's their ace now?
I
DeGrom
think
was...
it's Nathan Eovaldi. It's Nathan Eovaldi right now.
It's got to be Eovaldi. Let me come to Victor. Does Eovaldi become their ace now, Victor, with DeGrom on the shelf for 2 years?
He's going to have to be. He's going to have to be. And that's a tough thing to ask any pitcher when the ace goes down, that you have to be that ace. You have to be that guy that can get your team into favorable positions and even have to pitch complete games. For someone who's pitched back in high school, it's very, very rough when someone says, hey, right now you got to be our guy.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be our ace. And pitching is the most important part.
Yeah, and he got the Player of the Month last month, and I've seen it firsthand as a diehard Boston Red Sox fan. Eovaldi, back in 2018, got traded. Came to Boston, had that magical 2018 World Series run, and playoff one as well. Then he got hurt a little bit in 2019. I don't know about 2020, but with 2021, the Red Sox didn't have Chris Sale. Eovaldi was their ace because Chris Sale was hurt still.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing that Boston's going through. Thank you for mentioning that. They're going through this right now with Chris Sale. The inconsistency. And if there's you guys know, and the folks in the chat know, if there's one thing in sports that bothers the daylights out of me, it's inconsistency.
It bothers everybody because that's your lifeblood, is your consistency.
Because he's supposed to go out there.
And he's been and Chris Sale has been so inconsistent since he left Chicago.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say very inconsistent because he had a great year in 2017 with Red Sox. Same with 2018. He helped Boston win the World Series in 2018. I even met him I even met Chris Sale in person at the Winter Weekend this year. You know, I told Chris Sale, thank you for 2018. And he said thank you because he, without him, I don't think the Red Sox win the World Series. I'm saying that loud and clear. Without Chris Sale, the Red Sox, will not win the World Series in 2018. And because he was consistent that year. But since after that, 2019, he was having a terrific start to the year. But then in July, he got hurt. And the rest of the year, Tommy John, I believe we got Tommy John. Yeah.
Yes.
He missed out in all 2020. And 2021, he was only there mostly for the playoff run that the Red Sox are trying to push for. And that's why Nathan Eovaldi is that's why the Rangers got him. Because whenever a team has their big ace, that pitcher goes down. So that's why the Eovaldi is there to protect the starting rotation. So that way they can at least have a chance to do something and build around that rotation when your big ace goes down, and so you won't mess up the bullpen.
Well, who's after Eovaldi? Because as we mentioned, DeGrom is down. Now you have Eovaldi, who is stepping up to be their ace.
Yep.
Who is next? who follows Evaldi to pick up the slack on that Rangers pitching staff?
That's a good question. It's going to be between Martin Perez or John Gray.
I'm not impressed with Gray. I'm not impressed with Gray, and I'll give you two reasons. One, he doesn't have a wipeout pitch. And Victor, you being a former pitcher, that is so important.
Yes.
So important. I bring back Mark Burley. What was Mark Burley's wipeout pitch? His changeup.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Gray doesn't even have that. Not on a consistent basis. Let me clarify. Not on a consistent basis.
The changeup is a pitch that many people kind of overlook because it's not the prettiest pitch.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean by pretty pitch is a lot of people go for like the split finger, the slider, the curve.
Yeah.
The fork ball.
12-6 curve. A fork ball. You know, a pitch that has a lot of movement. But it's not always movement that actually gets the batter to chase. It's also the speed because it throws off your timing.
Yeah.
And it's also the location.
Yeah.
Yes. And by the way, actually, before I say it, will you still be on the Dugout Crew podcast today?
I should be able to make it. I should be able to.
Also, same thing for the interview Friday night.
Yes, Friday's a go. Friday's
so-
definitely a go. Should be able to go this afternoon. If something comes up, I'll make sure I yell.
Yeah, and as for Friday, before I get to what I was gonna say, just let me know like at least 2 hours in advance if you're sure going to be there, so I have time to promote. So I won't.
Got it.
Yeah. But back to what I was saying, you wonder why the Mets got Max Scherzer because of DeGrom's past history, and now it was the final year of his contract. As for DeGrom, and look what happened. The Rangers made a big mistake because
they made a tremendous mistake in signing DeGrom. Tremendous mistake.
Yeah, because they know their past injury history with DeGrom, and every time DeGrom comes to spring training, you know what he says? I feel 100%.
Yeah.
Brah.
Wow, exactly.
And karma gets to get him again and again and again. He's always
and continues to get him. It got after 2018. It got Chris Sale.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, and it's very unfortunate for Chris Sale because he was just getting back to being himself, vintage Chris Sale of like announcers like to call him, and unfortunately, Chris Sale hasn't been healthy, and I have folks tell me it's time to get rid of Chris Sale. He gets injured all the time. Well, here's the thing, though. I can see where it's coming from, but what about maybe sometime in the near future, see what his contract looks like? Because I believe this is the final year of Chris Sale's contract.
Yes.
With the Red Sox. So we just got to see what Chris Sale wants to do. Does he want to keep going as the starting pitcher? Because you've seen starting pitchers like Nick Pivetta go to the bullpen. Do we want Chris Sale to be back in the bullpen like his old days? Which I don't see that happen anytime soon because that's their guy. That's their ace. So, and I don't know why so many pitchers this year are getting hurt. Now, Alec Manoah, with the Blue Jays, he didn't get hurt. It's just that he's bad. Okay,
right.
I'm just about that with the Blue Jays. Got sent down to the weight level, but I don't know why so many pitchers are getting hurt this year. Is it pitch
part
clock?
of that be you read my mind? Could part of that be because of the pitch clock? Do you think? Let me start with Victor. Victor, do you think why we're seeing the uptick in pitchers' injuries this year, major ones, Jacob deGrom, can that be because of the pitch clock?
It could be because the limited of time, that time limit is going to throw your mechanics off when you pitch. Every pitcher has their own natural way of getting into position, coming set, the wind up, the pit, and the release. All of that is in their mechanics. So and at one point they had enough time to actually do all of it in one fluid motion. So now with the addition of the pitch clock, what you would originally have enough time for to figure out what you want to do, come set, and then deliver, you're doing it in a more condensed amount of time. And when you are in condensed amount of time, and you've known this, when you have to make some quick adjustment, it could cause massive problems.
And that's why I disagree with, the pitchers have to look at the batter at the 8-second mark. And that, how the first spring training game of the league for spring training, I'm not talking about those college ones.
Right.
First spring training game, it was the Red Sox Braves. I will always remember this. A pitch violation ended the game. Like, come on.
I saw that.
The Red Sox Braves. Like, come on. Like, that is not how the pitch clock should be. Well, at least from my understanding, is 15 seconds with nobody on, 20 seconds with one is on. Just throw, wait until, if it's clock's down to 0, that's a pitch violation.
Agreed.
That's what I thought it was in the minor leagues. But no. For some reason, that the umpires just wants attention. That's all they want. That's why they decided to put the 8-second on there, so that way they can have some conflict. But the thing is, I disagree with that because it's supposed to be 15 seconds with nobody on, with 20 seconds with runners on, and that should be it. Done and deal. You don't have to look at the batter with 8 seconds to go. I don't know why they decided to do that. If someone can help me, why you think they did that?
I wish I had an answer to that. I really do.
It doesn't make any sense.
I really, really wish I had an answer to that. I wish I had an answer to why they instituted the pitch clock in the first place.
Because
why? Because go on, Victor.
Well, I was going to say as a joke, the old George Carlin adage, they wanted baseball to speed up. Baseball needs a little speeding up. But the thing is that people not really worried about how long a game takes. As long as the game is good, they'll stay.
Exactly. As long as it's a great game, as long as it's a pitcher's duel, then people are sticking around no matter how long it is. Hell, Victor and I have called pitcher's duel that lasts as long as 15 innings.
Yep.
And I mean, I personally love the pitch clock because, when I went to a Red Sox Rays game on Monday, no problem, ended by 7 because I'm sick and tired of watching Red Sox Rays games that go on for 4 hours every single time when we lose.
Right.
But the thing is, though, people just want the games to not go too long, and that's what Major League Baseball heard from the fans, and that's why they added the pitch clock. But however, I do like this though. I like the no shift rule. Why? Because it gives left-handed batters, not really specifically the right-handed ones, because you don't really have the advantage, but the left-handed batters have more in the opportunity to get that base hit, get that run. Get that second, because with the shift, the Williams shift, as originally was called, that didn't work out because they just kept getting hitting to the, and plus even third basemen were on the right side on the field. Ridiculous. Okay.
Right.
So I do agree with the no shift rule 100%. With the pitch clock, I personally love it. I just wish, hopefully by next season, to calm down the injuries, to get rid of that 8-second rule because I don't like that at all because it has caused some conflicts with these dumb umpires.
That's got to come
also injuries.
That's going to have to come from the teams. What's going to probably happen in this off season is a lot of teams are going to have to come up with a training regimen for pitchers to be able to pitch within that pitch clock. So they're not having too many rigid motions and eventually causing injuries. So they're probably going to have to come up with some sort of training regimen for that.
Agreed. Yeah. And here's another thing, and we'll close out with this.
Yeah.
something I have noticed since I want to say 2016 with Jake Arrieta. Two things. One, a lot of pitchers are now working from the stretch, even with nobody on base, even if they're a starting pitcher.
Yeah.
And two, even though you're doing a full windup, they're working from the chest and not going overhand. They're working overhand. Let me start with Dave. Why do you think there is such an uptick on pitchers exclusively working from the stretch, even though they're starting the game? I'm talking about pitch one and beyond.
It's part of their routine. If it's part of their routine, that's part of their routine. And also back to the pitch clock, it's kind of weird seeing it's not just regular pitchers getting hurt. It's aces. Because back in the day, when there's an ace on the mound, you're gonna get a quick game no matter what, because they would just want to get the game over with as aces.
Yeah, they want to get it and go. They want to get it and go.
But for some reason, how many aces are healthy? That's my question.
True.
So this doesn't make any sense at all, and I don't know if the sticky stuff might have been caused the problem too, because with Tyler Glasnow, he said he got hurt because back in 2021, they made a change at the at the All-Star break, or in June, end of June before July, of getting rid of the sticky stuff, because that was a big problem during the pandemic.
Right.
And we've been seeing how many no-hitters in a row that year in April. Some of the no-hitters that caused investigation. You don't know what Trevor Bauer and all that stuff. But with Tyler Glasnow, he said he got hurt because of the sticky stuff. And I believe Pete Alonso has something to say about the sticky stuff as well. I have to look back at what Pete Alonso said back then, but that's what they said. I don't know if the sticky stuff has to do something with it. Maybe they should bring back the sticky stuff for next year, have some kind of rule for the sticky stuff, because they're still checking. They're getting back to checking the pitches now, because they saw something fishy back in end of last year. But that's just me. I don't know what you guys think about that.
Yeah, let's have Victor close this out. Victor, what do you think?
I agree with Dave. I think it's a part of their routine. Is why they're coming from a stretch. It's one of the things it's one of the modifications that they're going to have to do to keep themselves limber, to keep themselves from getting injured. So I think that's why they're doing that, because they need to, basically because of this big change, people are trying to adapt and evolve with it.
One thing more, I'll take us home here. One thing more that a lot of pitchers need to do: stretch.
Yeah.
Stretch out.
Take more practice tosses before the game starts.
And what's funny was Kenny Jensen, he was the slowest pitcher last year, and now he's throwing harder with the pitch clock and getting a little bit better with it. It's just, I don't know, it's crazy. And by the way, I hope I can stay here on the stream after the program if you want.
Well, we're gonna close up shop here. David St. Dennis of the David 3000 Network joining me. Victor Locke joining me as well. I want to thank y'all for joining me. Thank you guys for coming on. Thank you guys in the chat for everything. I appreciate you guys. Going to close up shop. God bless you, and I will see y'all tomorrow. We're out of here.
Take care, guys.
Thank you for tuning into The Brian Snow Show, where sports is the base, life and fun are the results.